The courtroom buzzed with a mixture of anticipation and unease, the air thick with the weight of unspoken judgments, and the gravity of the proceedings. Wooden benches lined the walls, polished to a gleam, while the flickering fluorescent lights cast a stark clarity over the scene. At the front, an imposing wooden bench loomed, where the judge presided with an air of authority seasoned by years of experience. His gavel rested heavily within reach, a symbol of his power to determine outcomes that could alter lives. On this particular day, however, the usual solemnity was tinged with curiosity, as a 5-year-old girl was called to give her testimony. She was a small figure in a bright pink dress, contrasting sharply with the serious tones of the courtroom. Her hair fell in loose curls around her face, framing wide, innocent eyes that sparkled with an intelligence that belied her age. As she walked toward the witness stand, her tiny shoes clicked softly against the tiled floor, drawing the attention of everyone present. The judge leaned forward slightly, curious yet cautious about what this child might bring to the courtroom. He had seen many cases involving children before, some heart-wrenching and others uplifting, but he had never encountered anyone quite like her. Her small stature seemed at odds with the weight of her impending testimony, which hinted at complexities that could unfold in unexpected ways. As she took her seat on the stand, the judge spoke gently, trying to establish a rapport that would ease her nerves. "Hello there! What's your name?" he asked, his voice warm and inviting. The girl looked up at him, her expression shifting seamlessly from nervousness to confidence as she replied with a clear and cheerful, "My name is Lily." The judge smiled back at her. He could sense a unique spark in Lily, a certain charisma that seemed to fill the room. As they continued their conversation, he decided to employ a more playful approach to get to know her better. "Lily," he proposed, "would you like to play a little game? It's called Truth or Lie. I'll ask you questions, and you can tell me whether your answer is true or not." Lily nodded eagerly. Her eyes gleamed with excitement as she leaned forward in her seat. The atmosphere shifted from tense formality to one of playful curiosity. The judge witnessed firsthand how this little girl's enthusiasm transformed the dreary courtroom into a lively stage for their burgeoning interaction. What followed next would reveal not just Lily's personality, but also open doors to unforeseen revelations about her understanding of truth, and perhaps even justice itself. Little did anyone know that beneath her innocent exterior lay a mind that was astutely aware of far more than anyone had anticipated. The case that brought Lily to the courtroom that day was layered with complexity, reflecting deep-rooted emotions and social dynamics that had captivated the community. It revolved around a custody dispute between her parents, a situation not uncommon yet fraught with tension. The courtroom had become a battleground for grievances, each side vying for their interpretation of what was best for Lily. In the midst of this contentious backdrop stood Lily, a pivotal figure despite her tender age. Her mother, a hardworking nurse, was determined to provide a stable environment for Lily, believing that she would be best raised in an affectionate and nurturing home. Conversely, her father, an ambitious entrepreneur, argued that he could offer more resources and opportunities for their daughter's future. Both parents loved Lily deeply, but their competing visions of parenting had led them into an adversarial relationship with each other. Lily's presence in court was more than just happenstance. She had become the fulcrum upon which the odds of the case teetered. The judge understood this reality. Children involved in custody disputes often struggle with divided loyalties. He had seen firsthand how a child's voice could influence outcomes dramatically when given a platform to express thoughts and feelings honestly. The weight of responsibility loomed large as he considered how to balance the emotional stakes while upholding the law. As Lily's name was called, murmurs rippled through the courtroom. It was unusual for such young children to testify directly in custody cases unless there were compelling reasons to do so. The judge sensed that Lily's input would not simply reflect factual observations but also provide insight into the emotional climate surrounding her life, an invaluable perspective often overlooked by adults caught up in their confrontations. The judge's attention turned to Lily's mother, who displayed an unreadable blend of hope and apprehension. He knew she must have been feeling the pressure. After all, every moment in court could tip the decision in favor of one parent or the other, affecting her daughter's future irrevocably. Meanwhile, screams from other family drama silently echoed in the courtroom, whispers of past arguments, broken promises, and dreams shattered. Grasping this delicate web of relationships motivated the judge to find a way to break through adult barriers and reach Lily on her level. His instinct became clear. Engaging her in a light-hearted game would help alleviate some of the burden she might feel amid such serious proceedings. By shifting focus towards fun rather than fear, perhaps they could unveil important truths hidden beneath layers of parental conflict. Truths only someone like Lily could elucidate. With this intention brewing in his mind, he set the stage for their interaction, an opportunity not just to gather testimony but also to witness an extraordinary glimpse into how a child's perspective can shape understanding in even the most turbulent circumstances. As the judge prepared for the interaction with Lily, it was important to understand the personality behind the robes. Judge Thompson was known for his balanced approach to law, a blend of authority and compassion that set him apart in a field often dominated by rigid protocol and stern demeanor. With over 2 decades of experience on the bench, he had presided over countless cases, each one adding to his rich tapestry of understanding human emotions and relationships. Judge Thompson exuded a calm maturity, often described as possessing a serene presence that could soothe even the most anxious of litigants. His graying hair and deep-set eyes carried the weight of years spent navigating complex emotional landscapes in the courtroom. Yet, beneath that stoic exterior lay an innate curiosity about people, a trait that allowed him to connect with individuals regardless of their backgrounds or circumstances. He believed justice wasn't merely about laws and regulations. It was also about understanding the human stories entwined within those laws. This philosophy guided him as he approached cases involving children, recognizing that they often bore the brunt of adult conflicts. He prided himself on being a judge who sought not just to rule but to understand, to listen deeply before reaching conclusions. As he glanced at Lily, he felt an overwhelming desire to create a conducive environment for her testimony. The complexities swirling around her custody case required careful handling, and he knew a different approach would be necessary to dive deeper into her psyche. Touching upon his own experiences as a father had shaped his desire to protect children's voices in legal matters. He wanted Lily to feel safe and empowered. Moreover, Judge Thompson held a secret fondness for whimsy, a trait rarely seen among those tasked with handing down decisions affecting lives. He often found ways to infuse lightness into serious situations, believing humor could be an effective tool for breaking down barriers. It was this light-hearted side that prompted him to propose the game of truth or lie. When facing Lily, he wanted her experience in his courtroom to be memorable for all the right reasons. Looking at the little girl adorned in her bright pink dress, he felt an unmistakable connection, an intangible understanding that transcended words. It struck him that children, even those as young as Lily, have much to teach adults if given the chance to share their insights freely. This mindset was central to why he encouraged honest dialogue through playfulness rather than pressure. As they began their interaction with playful questions, Judge Thompson felt hopeful, not just for revealing truths relevant to the case but also for what this exchange might teach them both about empathy, understanding, and perhaps even wisdom beyond their years. In this moment, it was clear, Lily was not merely another witness. She was a bright beacon of potential who might challenge everything they thought they knew about trust and truth in a chaotic world. As Judge Thompson settled into his role as both a facilitator and an observer, he explained the concept of truth or lie to Lily with a gentle enthusiasm. He wanted her to grasp that this was not just a game, but a tool to express her feelings in a way that felt safe and fun. The idea was simple. He would ask her questions, and she would respond by indicating whether her answers were true or false. This light-hearted approach could help bypass the pressure of formal testimony, allowing Lily to share her thoughts more freely. "Okay, Lily," he began, his voice warm and inviting. "We're going to play a little game. I'll ask you something, and you can tell me if it's true or if it's a lie. Are you ready?" Her eyes lit up with excitement, revealing an eagerness to participate, a stark contrast to the serious atmosphere that had filled the courtroom just moments before. Lily nodded vigorously, her small hands clasped in her lap as she focused intently on the judge. He started simply. "Let's see. Is your favorite food ice cream? She giggled and declared. True. The judge chuckled along, relieved by her enthusiastic response. Their exchange was beginning to dissolve any lingering tension in the room. He continued with various questions, each one designed not only to elicit information but also to gauge her understanding of truthfulness and honesty. Do you have a pet unicorn? He asked playfully. Lily burst into laughter and proclaimed, Lie. In those moments, it became clear that she was not just playing along, she was thinking critically about what constituted reality versus imagination. Judge Thompson noticed how effortlessly Lily navigated between fun and sincerity as they progressed through their game. Each answer peeled back layers of misperceptions about what it meant for children to speak in a courtroom. She wasn't merely regurgitating facts. She was expressing herself in a way that reflected her views on life and love. With each question, it became apparent that truth or lie was more than just an icebreaker. It was revealing insights into Lily's world, the nuances of her relationships with both parents, and how she perceived their conflicts. The game allowed her personality to shine through in unexpected ways. It showcased not only her innocence but also an innate wisdom regarding the complexities surrounding her custody situation. As they delved deeper into their playful interaction, Judge Thompson sensed that this game could lead them toward profound truths hidden beneath layers of adult disputes. What started as a simple diversion evolved into an essential dialogue, one where Lily's voice emerged not just as a child's perspective but as an illuminating beacon of understanding in a challenging legal landscape. In this moment of connection through playfulness, both the judge and Lily were reminded that truth often comes wrapped in laughter, and sometimes all it takes is a little creativity to unearth it amidst turmoil. This interplay between truth and imagination might reveal more than they had anticipated, laying the groundwork for vital insights into what truly mattered for Lily's future amidst the chaos of adult conflicts. As the game of truth or lie unfolded, Lily's responses began to paint a vivid picture of her world, a world filled with innocence but also complexities that belied her tender age. Judge Thompson asked his questions with a mix of curiosity and care, eager to see how Lily would navigate this playful yet revealing dialogue. Do you like going to the park? He ventured. With a bright smile, she exclaimed, True! Her enthusiasm was palpable, and for a moment, the weight of the courtroom seemed to lift as she recalled running freely on the swings and slides. The judge noted how these simple pleasures were foundational to her happiness, serving as an anchor in her young life amidst adult turmoil. Encouraged by her openness, he pressed on. Is your best friend named Sam? This time, after a good-natured pause, she grinned mischievously and said, Lie. Her name is Emily. The judge couldn't help but chuckle at her cleverness. It was clear that Lily was not only engaged but also keenly aware of the importance of friendship in her life. These moments of connection reminded him how much children valued relationships, even when adult conflicts loomed large around them. Then came a more poignant question. Do you want to live with your mom? The room seemed to hold its breath as Lily looked thoughtful. Sometimes it's true and sometimes it's a lie. Her unexpected response was layered, reflecting the conflict within her young heart. The judge sensed that this was more than just a game. She was expressing her feelings about the custody situation in a way that cut straight to the core of her emotional reality. Intrigued by her honesty, he followed up gently. What about your dad? Do you want to live with him? Again she paused, her brow furrowing slightly before she replied. Sometimes true, sometimes lie. There was an undeniable wisdom in her ambiguity. Lily was articulating the struggle between loyalty and love for both parents without directly taking sides. As they continued playing, each answer revealed more about Lily's perceptions of her family dynamics. Her innocent interpretations of their strengths and weaknesses painted deeper context around the custody case. Is it true that you don't like when they argue? She answered definitively. True. The intensity in her voice made it clear that witnessing those conflicts weighed heavily on her little shoulders. Judge Thompson felt a swell of admiration for Lily's courage. Here was a child bravely navigating complex emotional terrain that many adults struggled to articulate. Each response illuminated the real-life impacts of parental disputes on children, an insight often lost in legal battles dominated by adult arguments. By the end of their game, Judge Thompson had gathered not just whimsical answers but genuine reflections from Lily, pieces of truth that transcended playful banter and delved into profound feelings about safety, love, and belonging. Through this light-hearted yet meaningful exchange, he had unlocked a window into her soul, a rare glimpse into how deeply children could understand and feel amidst the chaos surrounding them. In this small courtroom, amid serious proceedings, they had discovered the power of understanding through laughter and honesty. As Lily spoke openly during the truth or lie game, Judge Thompson found himself increasingly captivated by her perspective. With each playful exchange, he observed the depths of emotion embedded within her childlike responses, uncovering layers of truth that extended far beyond the simplicity of the game. The judge's heart swelled with a mix of admiration and empathy as he recognized the gravity of what she was sharing. In particular, Lily's nuanced answers regarding her parents revealed how deeply aware she was of their struggles. When she hesitantly mentioned that living with her mom or dad could be both true and a lie, he realized she was wrestling with the conflicting feelings produced by her parents' adversarial relationship. This innocent yet profound insight challenged him to think critically about the implications of his role in determining her custody. Judge Thompson's initial curiosity shifted to a deeper reflection on his responsibilities. He was not merely responsible for making legal decisions, he had the power to impact a young girl's life significantly. Each time she expressed herself, it became clearer that this experience was not just an exercise in legal procedure, but a heartfelt journey into understanding how the outcome could affect her emotional well-being. With each answer, Lily exhibited remarkable courage, and the judge felt compelled to encourage her forthrightness. He chuckled at her whimsical declarations while also ensuring that she understood the seriousness of their context, a delicate balancing act that required his full attentiveness. "You're doing such a great job, Lily," he would interject, all while maintaining a relaxed tone to reinforce that it was safe for her to speak freely. Judge Thompson's affection for this instinctive interplay began to blossom into a deep respect for the wisdom children often carry. "If only adults could express themselves with such clarity," he mused internally. His past experiences on the bench had shown him that children often see situations through a lens unclouded by biases, offering insights adults needed to hear but might overlook amidst their thick layers of emotional history. The moments they shared together began to inspire hope in him, the hope that perhaps, if given the right platform, children like Lily could help mend some of the fractures created by adult disputes. The judge recognized that her innocence and honesty could serve as crucial elements in crafting a more compassionate resolution to disputes like those faced by Lily's parents. As their game proceeded, Judge Thompson felt his own views on truth and justice evolving alongside Lily's responses. He realized that legal decisions should encompass not only facts and laws but also the human elements, feelings, relationships, and emotional health that those facts represented. Maybe their interaction would not just aid in resolving this case but also serve as a reminder for all involved parties of what was truly at stake: the welfare and happiness of a young girl who simply wanted love, security, and stability. By the end of their playful exchange, Judge Thompson had collected much more than he anticipated. He had opened his heart and mind to new understandings about childhood experiences that could illuminate paths toward healing for families torn apart by adult conflicts. In this small courtroom setting, laughter had blossomed into realization, a notion that truth could often be wrapped in innocence while carrying tremendous weight. As the playful game of truth or lie continued, Judge Thompson began to notice something remarkable about Lily. It was not just her spirited personality or her charming responses. There was a certain depth to her understanding that transcended her age. Each innocent declaration seemed to carry with it a bundle of wisdom that belied her 5 years, and it became increasingly clear that she was not only articulate but also a natural observer of human relations. With each question, Lily's insights painted a vivid tapestry of her emotional landscape, one that revealed both the joys and burdens of her childhood. When she spoke about wanting her parents to stop arguing, it wasn't merely a child's wish for peace. It reflected an acute awareness of the chaos surrounding her young life. This subtle articulation struck the judge as something more profound, It hinted at an innate legal genius within this little girl. "Do you think the fighting makes you sad?" he asked after she expressed discomfort with their arguments. She nodded solemnly and replied, "Sometimes I feel lost, like I'm in a maze." The metaphor was striking, revealing an intuitive grasp of complexity that many adults struggled to navigate. Judge Thompson felt his admiration deepen. Lily was articulating feelings often suppressed by adults in similar circumstances. It dawned on him that while traditional legal proceedings often struggle to capture the emotional truths hidden behind disputes, here stood a child capable of expressing those very sentiments without hesitation. Her ability to communicate abstract feelings in concrete terms showcased not only creativity but also a sophistication in understanding interpersonal relationships, a skill often attributed to seasoned mediators or lawyers. "Lily," he continued gently, "if you could tell your parents one thing to help them understand how you feel, what would it be?" She paused thoughtfully before responding. "I would tell them I love them both and I don't want to choose." The simplicity yet profound nature of her statement resonated deeply within him. It spoke volumes about loyalty torn between two sides and echoed the dilemma faced by many children caught in custody battles. In that moment, Judge Thompson recognized Lily's unique ability to articulate universal truths about love and family dynamics with clarity rarely seen in adults. Her insights pierced through the fog of conflict surrounding parental disputes, and illuminated paths toward resolution that adults often overlooked. Lily's capacity for understanding presented an exciting possibility: the potential for children's voices to reshape how custody cases were considered. She represented a new generation capable of vocalizing their experiences and emotions directly, offering valuable lessons for judges tasked with making weighty decisions regarding their lives. As their game concluded, Judge Thompson felt invigorated by the exchange they had shared. He had set out simply to understand Lily's perspective through playfulness but ended up finding inspiration instead, a reminder that truth often resides where innocence meets insight. In this small courtroom filled with tension and anticipation had emerged not only a solution for one child's future but also a vision for integrating children's voices into legal frameworks more holistically. Lily had transformed from just another witness into an unexpected sage whose wisdom challenged him, and perhaps society at large, to rethink how they approached cases involving children caught in adult disputes. This realization sparked hope within him. If allowed to express themselves fully, perhaps children like Lily could guide adults toward understanding empathy as much as legality in navigating conflicts born of love gone awry. The courtroom atmosphere shifted palpably as Judge Thompson processed the insights he gained from Lily's responses. It became apparent that her voice could significantly influence the proceedings, challenging traditional views on how children should be integrated into custody discussions. As he observed her navigate complex emotions with remarkable clarity, the judge felt empowered to utilize her perspectives actively in his decisions. After their game, Judge Thompson contemplated how he could present Lily's remarkable articulations in his documentation of the case. He considered including her insights as a pivotal element of his ruling, evidence that echoed the emotional realities children experience in family disputes. This was not merely anecdotal information but rather a deep dive into the emotional impacts of adult conflicts on young minds, grounding his decision in human experience rather than just legal standards. He reflected on prior cases where children's sentiments were brushed aside, often reduced to mere statistics or conclusions drawn without considering the child's point of view. The conversations with Lily illuminated how vital it was to weave these child-centric perspectives into the fabric of legal proceedings. If their feelings were deemed important enough for adult considerations, surely they warranted significance in a child's process too. Buoyed by this revelation, Judge Thompson began to rethink how he would communicate his findings to both parents. Instead of simply offering judgments based on material aspects like income or living circumstances, he could present a more holistic view that included Lily's aspirations and fears. For instance, a judgment that cited, "Lily expressed feeling lost when her parents fight," would carry more weight than analyzing any financial spreadsheets alone. When meeting with the parents after Lily's session, Judge Thompson felt an urgency to share her sentiments authentically. He meticulously recounted their interactions during Truth or Lie, illustrating how their daughter's wisdom and maturity could guide them toward healthier communication patterns and decisions regarding co-parenting. "Your daughter loves you both deeply," he shared gently with them. "She expressed wanting you both involved in her life without having to choose sides. This awareness shows she understands complexities that you might think are beyond her years." The judge watched the parents absorb this information. A shift was occurring as they came to realize their child's emotional capacity and its implications on their co-parenting strategies. Judge Thompson advocated for family therapy sessions prompted by Lily's insights, an attempt to repair bonds not only between them but also with their daughter. By positioning Lily's voice as pivotal within the court's discourse, it invited more constructive dialogue around custody arrangements than had previously occurred. In this way, the impact of Lily's perspective extended far beyond herself. It began to reshape entire family dynamics and court proceedings surrounding custody cases. Her innate understanding and ability to articulate matters typically suppressed by adults lent itself richly to forging new paths forward amidst personal chaos. Ultimately, Judge Thompson felt enlightened by this experience, a recognition that integrating children's voices into legal deliberations could lead towards healing and understanding rather than mere adjudication of conflicts. In nurturing spaces where children felt empowered to share their truths, courts might mirror positive societal change while prioritizing the best interests of youth, a promise so often stated but inadequately realized until now. As the final question of the truth or lie game approached, Judge Thompson could feel the weight of the moment. He had watched as Lily transformed from a nervous little girl into a spirited participant, bravely sharing her thoughts and feelings. The atmosphere in the courtroom had shifted, becoming lighter and more hopeful, a contrast to the tension that had initially filled the room. Lily looked up at him with her wide, trusting eyes, seemingly ready for one last playful question. The judge smiled and leaned in slightly, his expression inviting. "All right, Lily, here's the last one. Do you think you'll always be happy?" She pondered this for a moment, her brow furrowing as she considered the complexities of her young life. Sometimes true, sometimes a lie," she replied thoughtfully, leaving the judge momentarily speechless. Her answer carried profound implications about the nature of happiness, acknowledging that even at her age, she understood it wasn't a constant state but rather a fluctuating emotion influenced by her surroundings and experiences. In those few words, Lily encapsulated the reality of childhood, where joy and sorrow often intertwine, and Judge Thompson felt a deep sense of admiration for her ability to articulate something so nuanced. It was clear that she had carefully navigated through her emotions during their game, reflecting on what it truly meant to be a child caught in the whirlwind of family issues. The game concluded with laughter and applause from onlookers who had been quietly observing this unique interaction. The atmosphere had shifted from tense anticipation to a shared celebration of Lily's spirit and insights. Judge Thompson took a moment to process everything they had experienced together. This child had not only shared her truths but had also opened doors for deeper conversations about her circumstances. With an encouraging smile, he leaned forward once more. "Lily," he said warmly, "you have done an amazing job today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I promise to make sure your voice is heard." Her face lit up at his words, and he felt a wave of hope wash over him, a belief that perhaps this case could lead to a more compassionate resolution for everyone involved. As Lily stepped down from the witness stand, Judge Thompson knew that this interaction would reverberate beyond this single session. It would influence how he approached future cases involving children. His commitment to ensuring that children's voices were integral parts of legal deliberations solidified in that moment, inspired by a 5-year-old girl whose wisdom transcended her years. The game of truth or lie had served its purpose well. It not only provided an engaging way for Lily to express herself but also helped to forge a connection that would bear lasting significance. Moving forward, Judge Thompson felt invigorated by the understanding that addressing emotional truths in legal settings could ultimately lead to healing, not just for children like Lily but for families navigating the turbulent waters of custody disputes. With renewed determination, he resolved to carry forth these lessons into his future rulings and interactions within the courtroom, fostering spaces where children felt empowered to share their truths openly and honestly. The remarkable interaction between Judge Thompson and Lily during the Truth or Lie game highlighted not only the power of communication, but also the broader implications for family law and child welfare. This experience served as a significant lesson for all involved, emphasizing that children's voices must be integrated into legal discussions to achieve more compassionate outcomes in custody disputes. Judge Thompson emerged from this session with a renewed understanding of the importance of fostering a legal environment that values emotional truth alongside legal protocol. The insights Lily provided were not merely anecdotal. They uncovered deeper truths that challenged him to reevaluate how he approached cases involving children. Recognizing that children can articulate their experiences and feelings in ways often overlooked by adults was a revelation that he planned to carry forward. One of the critical lessons learned was that traditional courtroom settings often do not adequately address the emotional realities faced by children involved in disputes like custody battles. The rigid structures typically governing legal proceedings can create barriers between children's feelings and the adult world, where those feelings might either be dismissed or inadequately understood. By adopting a more flexible approach, including interactive techniques similar to Truth or Lie, judges and lawyers could bridge this gap, helping to ensure children feel heard and valued. Moreover, Judge Thompson's experience with Lily underscored the need for training legal professionals in child psychology and communication methods tailored to younger individuals. By equipping those working within the justice system with tools to engage effectively with children, it could lead to more informed decisions that genuinely reflect a child's best interests, rather than merely adhering to standard procedures. This event also opened up discussions around legislation promoting mandatory consultations with child psychologists before custody rulings are made, an initiative likely to generate greater understanding of how family dynamics affect children's emotional well-being. Parents would benefit from learning how their actions impact their children more profoundly than they might realize, fostering a culture of empathy as families navigate complex challenges together. The impact of Lily's contributions extended beyond just one case. It had the potential to inspire systemic change within family courts, advocating for reforms that would allow children's sentiments and opinions to shape the future of custody arrangements. Judge Thompson felt invigorated by this possibility and resolved to champion these changes, not only for Lily but for countless other children whose voices had yet to be fully recognized. Ultimately, Judge Thompson discovered a promising path forward, one where empathy intertwined with logic in legal proceedings, paving the way for healthier family relationships post-dispute. By allowing children's perspectives to inform legal practices, courts could foster healing rather than just decision-making, transforming conflict into collaboration, misunderstandings into clarity, and chaos into calm for families grappling with separation and disagreements. Lily's voice resonated long after their meeting concluded, a reminder that even the youngest among us possess wisdom that can challenge established norms and invite change within systems meant to protect them. As he reflected on their session, Judge Thompson felt hopeful that integrating such valuable insights could lead not only to better individual cases but also foster a cultural shift towards valuing children's emotional truths en masse within family law.